Hi everyone, it's Tuesday lunchtime, it's about 1 p.m. and I just finished our Cathedral staff meeting and I've come out for a little walk with River, and we're here in Wynn Park, which is really close to the Cathedral and my home, and I was coming out to look for a patch of sunshine to sit in, and there you have the trees and the sunbeam breaking through, and River is just settling down to sit on my lap, which is nice. And I wanted to talk to you and share the practice I have, which is of going out walking in the morning. Well, it's not really my practice, it's her practice. When I'm not waking up, she'll come and jump on the bed and nozzle me with a wet nose and make me get up and go for a walk. We normally go for at least an hour and sometimes a bit longer if I've got time. If we've really got time, the walk might turn into sitting down by the river and having a meditation. But I realize as I've developed this puppy parenthood practice, but also it's connected with some of my own former practices, that these walks are like meditation opportunities, prayer opportunities for me. And I've noticed since I moved to Sacramento that I am particularly fascinated by the light. I'm loving looking at the dawn breaking over Sacramento and light breaking through trees and falling across parks, and particularly in the Cathedral Park, noticing the way that the light falling through the trees creates a kind of a dappled light on the ground, and noticing sometimes when I'm taking photos of how the light creates a lens flare. And all of these things have been really joyful for me. And then I realized that this wasn't just a morning practice of walking in nature, it's also a spiritual practice for me of looking for light. I've been taking photos of nature for years, ever since I lived right by a nature preserve in Redwood City, and I would go there and they set up specific stations where you could take photographs of the nature preserve. As it was being created, you'd put your camera in a frame that they had set up on the side of the nature preserve and take the same photo every day if you could. And for about a year and a half, I did that every single day on one of my own walks. And over time, those photos built up into a resource for the local bird sanctuary to use to figure out how well the nature preserve was developing. And then it's become a habit. So I love going for walks, I love looking for light, and I love meditating and praying, and it's a daily practice. And I'm grateful to River for making it such an important part of my routine, because she won't let me miss it. In some ways she might be the chaplain to the dean, because she's the one that makes me go and pray every single day, and I'm grateful to her for that. But what I've noticed recently is that the light's changing. The light is shifting. It's become darker in the mornings. I get up before dawn and go out, and sometimes it's overcast out there. You can't find the light, you can't see it. There's no light breaking through the trees because there is shadow and shade. The other day when I was out walking and looking for the light and not finding any because of the overcast day, I rounded the corner of the Capitol and I saw them setting up the Christmas tree. They were putting lights on it. There were massive lift machines that were carrying workmen up to the top of the tree, and they were just stringing it with lights, as we will do in our own homes over the next month. It reminded me of all the practices of lighting lights. When you can't find light in nature, when it gets closer to winter, when December closes in, we have as a culture developed all of these practices in which we light candles and even fairy lights in the midst of the darkness. And it reminds me in this season of Advent that lighting lights is an act of faith and an act of hope. And so over the next week, I'm going to be working on my own household decorations. I'm going to be figuring out my tree, and I'm going to be figuring out where to put it in the new apartment that I live in, and figuring out if any of the old strings of lights still work. John Cranak put up strings of lights in the Cathedral office when he came to volunteer one day this week, and you will probably be putting up lights in your own homes. We didn't manage to send out Advent wreaths this year, but I wonder if you could simply find a collection of 4 candles and put them in the middle of your dining table. Maybe if you can find some greens somewhere, you could put them around them and light those as an Advent wreath, homemade by yourself. Maybe you'll decorate your tree. Whatever you do, I hope that you light candles or light strings of lights as an act of faith and as an act of resistance against the darkness that is so surrounding us in the world. Christmas time is coming, and it is the moment that we celebrate the light of Christ coming into the world in the midst of the darkest moment possible. And so I am grateful for these practices of lighting lights. I'm grateful for the opportunity to see lights breaking through the trees. I'm grateful for the opportunity to walk with River and contemplate and meditate on the light every day. And I invite you to do so in this month of December, in this season of Advent, and as we approach Christmas. Lots of love. Bye.